here's some that we came across that we stumbled into out of desperation that I bet you don't know, I bet you haven't tried, and you're going to laugh and you're going to be stoked, and it's going to work, and you are going to have more energy when you get through that heat pan to your wonderful, beautiful campsite. Stand by. Oh my God. When you cannot get away from the heat, it's a fact that the longer you can stay cool in little blocks during the day, those blocks add up, and at the end of the day offer you more energy and focus to stay safe getting to camp, and also when you get to camp to set up, and also just the energy to have more fun, and you're more comfortable the whole time, and thus your attitude's better. And let me say this about that before I give you these hacks. If it's hot and you're traveling with a bunch of people, don't go into diva mode. Don't start complaining. Don't start getting short-tempered, because the difference is this: everybody's hot, but when you start that, they're hot and having to deal with you. So be cool, find a way to stay cool. Here are my suggestions to do that. When you're traveling, we all have fuel stops and snack stops, right? These are the times we have to take prime advantage to get cool. And here's a couple of things we discovered. Number one, when you pull up to a gas station, you obviously find shade, all these obvious things. But when you take your helmet off, go put it in the ice bag cooler. Put it off to the side that nobody's pulling from. Kind of shove it in there, back off to the side, and keep an eye on it, obviously. But if you're there at that gas stop for over 20 minutes trying to cool down, man, it makes a huge difference when your head's cold. And it works, and it's usually pretty sweaty in there too, so like you have this your own cool liquid refrigerant of sweat that helps for a while to keep you cool. That's one little block to stack up towards the end of the day. Number two, we began to identify stores that have the walk-in beer coolers. At those places, go in, literally take your helmet, your whole gear, everything, all your riding gear, everything, and just go in there, you know, get a snack before, tell the clerk or whatever. They're always really cool about it. And go stay in the beer cooler with all your gear while you eat your snack, or while you make your text or your phone calls, or check your radar, or check your maps, or whatever. That goes a long way, because that's externally getting your core down, the same as the helmet would be an external measure to get your core temperature down. Numero 3, in the beer cooler or wherever you're at, get a cold drink or a handful of that crushed ice and hold it directly on your heart. Some internal regulation of your core, because all your blood passes through your heart, and it's why boxers, the coaches, when they come to the corner, will put that cold iron onto their chest. Starts the cooling process from the source of the blood. It makes a huge difference. Number 4, consume as much cold, icy water as you can at that stop. Like, that's another internal measure. It'll go in and cool you from the inside out as you're in the cooler, hopefully in the cooler. If not, if you can't get in the cooler, just get into the store where it's air conditioned, obviously, and just stay there and make sure your gear's with you, so your jacket and your riding gear can be cooling down at the same time. And drink as much ice water as you can, just a kind of a sick belly full of it even. Just these few measures there help your core temperature go down dramatically, and it lasts for like a whole hour. The last thing to do, so you're nice and cool now, you're cool on the inside, your gear's cool, you're ready to rumble. This would be number 5. Take a bottle of water that you keep on your gear outside, preferably not cold water, just kind of room temperature, or even warm water, doesn't matter. Completely douse yourself. Douse your head, inside of your gear, just pour it right in there. It feels really yucky. There's nothing worse to me than a pair of wet pants. Like, I cannot stand that for some reason. I don't even like to watch other people get their pants wet. I don't know what it is, maybe something from my childhood. Douse yourself, who cares if it runs down in your boots, whatever. And as you drive, that stuff will dry out. And the evaporation cools you off. It's kind of like your own little homemade swamp cooler. All those measures will provide you with a good half a tank or better of time where your body was able to be a lot cooler. And then even if you just take a stop during that time, have another bottle of water ready and do the same thing. Douse yourself again, and that'll prepare you to get to the next fuel stop to start that process over. And by the end of the day doing this, you will have spent a lot of time much cooler and thereby have more energy. It works. It works. We about died coming across the southern U.S. recently, and that's how we made it. It's how we survived. I feel like we would have succumbed. If you got any ones that you would add to this, any hacks, not the normal stuff, but just anything that's kind of unique that you've come up with, man, share it in the comments. It's hell riding in heat, and anything we can do to stay cool makes us safer, makes the trip funner, and it's actually good for some laughs too while you're in the process of doing it. Thank you guys so much for watching, supporting our channel. Story Moto out.